Well, this is my third day in the game, and I feel like I'm making okay progress, but not as good as I would like to be. At the beginning of the day, I got cable wires up and running. Then I ran around the factory picking up the resources I needed to complete the latest milestone. In the process of running around, I made sure that the wire I was making was heading into a storage unit. I dumped what I had for the milestone off and got to work on the next one. Then I went to go get more SAM for the MAM, and on the way back to the hub, I cut down some more tree. I needed a lot of reinforced iron plates that I didn't have, so I got to work at the crafting bench. I filled up the storage units for the power supply just to make sure I didn't run out of power anytime soon. And to build some assemblers, I realized I needed some rotors, so I got those built as well. I grabbed what I needed to get the assemblers building reinforced plates so I didn't have to, and then I got the building underway so that they would be being built in the background while I was doing other things. Then I remembered that I could get Caterium up and running if I got some into the MAM. After fulfilling Caterium ore in the MAM, I set off to get a mine creating Caterium ingot. I started a foundation based off of the SAM because it seemed to be the highest point. Then I got the smelter all set up to get the Caterium ingot being produced. While I was at it, I thought it was a good idea to get a SAM mine going as well. I started running low on resources, so I headed back down into the hold to get what I needed. I took a moment to look around the MAM to see what other side quests I could complete. Then while I was waiting for more resources to be built out, I went and clear-cut another segment of trees. While I was out doing that, I found a Mercer sphere. I wanted to venture out a bit looking for other resources I might need. I started marking what I found on the map so I'd remember it for later. I found some SAM, copper, and ore all in the same spot, but not that far from where I had started my first base. It took me a minute to remember exactly how to use the map to my advantage, but I eventually started to remember how to use it. Near where I was mapping, I found a cave, which had a spider enemy I hadn't killed yet. I was also able to source some mycelia from the cave, which is a good resource for solid biofuel and fabric. There were these giant mushrooms, and they seemed to give me a chunk of mycelia as well. I spent a bit more time futzing around in the map trying to see if there was a better way to mark things, and there wasn't. From there, I started to make my way back to the starting base. As usual, I got sidetracked by shiny slugs, but I did make it back to the base and made some hog protein. I filled up the power bank with what I'd gathered while I was out and about. I took a moment to reconsolidate my wire part of the factory, and that took a bit of doing because it was a little bit of a mess. Then I wasted some more time looking at what I could complete in the MAM. I realized with everything that I was building, I should add some more biomass burners to the power facility. And then I got an item checked off the MAM list. While I was in the cave, I found a summer sloop, so I checked that off the MAM list as well. After that, I headed up to the SAM mine and added a constructor to get reanimated SAM being created. I realized one of the screw constructors didn't have power, so I got that reconnected. Then I realized at the MAM that I could get it so I could start building fabric if I needed it. I found my way back up to the Caterium and started working on getting Caterium wiring going. I did realize that I wasn't staying on the objective and gathered what I needed to build a space elevator. I did find I had to deconstruct the Caterium mine to reconstruct it from scratch. I got the smelters added and decided to get fancy with the way they were going to feed into the constructors. It took me a bit to figure out how to get them to work correctly because I'm kind of an idiot. Then I got myself all set up to add in the constructors. It didn't take me as long to get them set up with the conveyor lit. When it was all built out, I got it so the constructors would build the wire I needed. Then I started building out the platform for the space elevator, but ran out of iron plates in the process. I clear-cut some of the trees that I knew were going to be in the way. Then I headed down into the pit to pick up some more resources that I needed. It was finally time to build the space elevator, so I headed up to where I was going to put it. It took a while to construct the space elevator, so I made the platform around it slightly larger. With the space elevator created, I'd gathered enough of the Caterium wire to get that objective completed in the MAM. Since the day was wrapping up, I got it so the assembler was creating more rotors, and I headed out on the savannah to hunt some hogs to get their proteins. That way I could start building protein inhalers in the
Research
game.
completed.